The long-awaited sequel to The Wolf Among Us will need to be a little more long-awaited. It has been delayed, and to 2024. I know you're saying, "Hey, we just got in 2023. What's going on?" Um, yeah, they 2024. They came out with a they reached out to IGN and basically made the announcement through them, through an article. Great article. If you have time to read it, if you care at all about Telltale games, it's a really great article. There's a few quotes I want to read in this, but before we do that, The Wolf Among Us. Did you ever play it?
No,
Did you like? I know you're not like a those point and click adventure game type things.
I kind of avoid like the Telltale game series just in
Okay.
general.
The I was always a big fan of them. We always talk about I like those style of games. The Wolf Among Us was amazing. It was based on a comic called Fables, and there's all these different characters from fairy tales in it. And this is about the big bad wolf, and he's like a detective, and it's just like it's this really adult story. Great game. If you ever do want to play one, I definitely recommend this one. Um, so yeah, I was excited for the sequel when it was announced. So this goes with it's a whole roller coaster. Telltale closed. They got bought by someone, reopened, announced right away that they're going to be making The Wolf Among Us. And then COVID happened and all this stuff happened, and now the first Wolf Among Us came out in 2013. Now it's going to be 11 years later. We'll have the sequel finally. But yeah, some quotes from Jamie Ottley, the CEO of Telltale Games, said making games is difficult, and they need time to be right. And it doesn't do any of us any good to ship something that's not ready. Says if we put this game out and it's not ready, we're going to get torn to shreds. The expectations are pretty high, and we want time to meet those, and we want to be proud of it and know that hey, this is the best game we could have made. Let the world say what they will once it's done. But at least we know that in these times, in these conditions, this is the best game that we can make. And then he talks about crunch. He says, I've done crunch and I don't want to do it again. It's not fair to ask it. You can't plan a business around it. So, yeah, part of it is about maintaining a healthy work culture. We don't want to burn out our good people. It has been incredibly difficult to recruit the last 2 years between COVID and the labor markets and the growth in games industry. So certainly burning people out or grinding them down is the wrong thing to do long term. It's not how you build a business. And as an industry, we're terrible about it. We burn our people out. We burn our best people out faster. And as an industry, if we're going to continue to grow, we have to stop it. We just have to stop doing it and make better choices. Love this guy. You know,
Yeah,
just coming out and saying it because that was an issue. So the previous iteration of Telltale Games, they got real popular real fast. They got the Walking Dead games, and then they started churning them out, and then the games started getting really, really janky. So like you could tell it was like the crunch and just the time and stuff like that. And he's saying it's like we can't let this happen again, basically. So I'm all for it. Like I said, it's been 10 years. What's one more
yeah,
year?
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we hear so much about crunch in the industry, and crunching to get it out faster does not mean that you're going to get a good game out of the
Right.
process. So slow down, take your time, put the best game out there possible because we have so much to sift through. We need like to find the diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And in the meantime, they do have a game coming out based on the Expanse books and TV show series. So that one looks really cool. It's like a very sci-fi um, game. So yeah, so they got something coming out, and then they did announce that they're working on a third game. So I don't know what it's like at that studio, but yeah, put out a good game. Don't break your people, and yeah, we'll see you in 2014, Telltale.
And and the world will say what it will say. How optimistic did that seem to you, though?
um, yeah, I don't know. It could be read a couple different ways, I guess. Like if it's like, hey, we're gonna work on this, and you know, but basically, it's just saying that. I mean, we always use Cyberpunk as that standard.
Yeah,
That came out, didn't work, and the world said what they needed to say. You know, it was a joke. It was a laughing stock of the video game industry for a long time after that. So yeah, this industry, man. This is we're talking, everybody's talking.
Yep.